We're in this funny moment of will it or won't it actually be spring here in Chicago, and frankly, it is a perfect metaphor for the real estate market in the Windy City. So I thought, well, instead of bringing you this bland, boring, simple market report full of robotic stats that may mean nothing to your specific situation, now would actually be a great time to show you exactly what you could expect from the spring market if you're looking to get into it. Going forward, I'm actually hoping to create a new way of looking at the same market data, one that can actually be useful to you, the buyer, and the potential sellers out there. So why don't you let me know in the comments below what you're thinking? But anyway, let's lay some groundwork for the upcoming spring market in our fair city, shall we? By the way, Andrew Coppins is my name with the Steve Janet Group at Dreamtown Realty here in Chicago, and this is Close with Coppins. It is my space to talk about data, the tips, the trends, all the things that you should be paying attention to in the Chicago housing market. So here are 3 realities that you need to be aware of heading into your spring home search or selling decision-making process. Number 1, numero uno. The supply of homes is historically low, and the prices are being driven up by multiple factors. Number 2, because of this tight supply, it's creating a catch-22 scenario for those that are looking to sell and buy, thus only exacerbating the problems already in the marketplace. And then number 3, the expected rush of homes to the market may look large here in March and April, but they actually won't even measure to be on pace with historical trends, and that's a problem. So why am I giving you these expectations? It's because data is telling me all of these things are true. And frankly, we are hearing about buyer and seller fatigue, let alone agent fatigue, and it's only March. You deserve to know what that data is telling you and what you could be getting into. It's going to help lessen your stress levels and give you a clearer mind when you're diving into that market whenever that actually happens. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with the supply of homes here in the city. As of the close of February, we saw just over 5,600 homes for sale in Chicago. It was not only the lowest at any point in the past 3 years, but also a 14% decline on a rolling annual basis and nearly 30% down from January's numbers. Speaking of January's market, the homes for sale in that month failed to top the December number of homes for sale for the first time in at least 5 years here in Chicago. So do you see the inventory problem? If not, how about the knowledge that we have just 2.1 months of supply in the market, the lowest ever, while the healthy or balanced market has over 5 months of supply. Again, this is all data for just the city of Chicago, where I do most of my business. Whether that number is because of everyone that has wanted to sell and change their lifestyle having done so, or because sellers are afraid of the next scenario on this list, it's not good. Of course, I'm referring to that dreaded catch-22 of listing while there is nothing on the market to buy. But I'll let a previous video, which you can find linked above, or over here actually, do the talking on the specifics of those numbers. All that you need to know right now is that the whole "but there's nothing out there" story is a bit of a mirage. There is inventory. It's just flying off the shelf so dang fast that it means that you have to make a really quick decision as a buyer. And statistically speaking, those numbers just don't show up as we calculate them currently. But anyway, imagine having to be that seller and having to buy a home, and you can see why many are looking at that 2.1 months of supply number and they're staying put. They're staying on the sidelines. I mean, do you actually sell and then take a chance on not finding anything? Or do you hope for market conditions to get better and wait it out? There's just one problem with this whole idea, which brings me to the third expectation. Do not expect the flood of homes that's going to come to the marketplace to be even close to enough to even out the marketplace at all. It won't happen because we should have already seen a start to the rise of homes coming onto the market. Well, the traditional start of the spring market here in Chicago is what? The week following the Super Bowl. And we've had 3 weeks of that, and well, February brought us the lowest amount of homes for sale than at any other point in time over the last 3 years, period. Couple in the interest rate rise from the mid 3s to 4.2% as I'm speaking to you right now, and that doesn't make for a fun marketplace for a seller who must sell to buy. After all, every time the rate increases, you lose on the sale price of your current home and you lose buying power on your new home. All the while, sale prices are currently, by the way, on the rise, as in a $10,000 jump to a median price of $320,000, and then the average price here in Chicago up to $440,000, which was up 9% over January's average sale price too. All of that is a really long-winded way to say this. If you are interested in buying or selling, do it now. Everything is going to cost more as we head into April and May, and as more homes eventually come to the market, guess what? You, the seller, are going to find less power in your sales price. Simply put, something has got to give, and I would hate to see you get caught up when that levee of this current market breaks. So how do you jump into this stressful market without going crazy? Here is my advice. There are two key aspects to consider. Do you love the place or the neighborhood? If the answer to either is yes, then that might be the place for you. Homes can be improved, by the way, but trust me, here in Chicago, you have got to love your neighborhood first. Secondly, can you afford your monthly payment? Stop focusing on the overall price of the home and more on the monthly payment. That is where the interest rate can be a difference maker, by the way. Consider all of the costs, your principal, your insurance, your PMI. Is there an HOA fee, utilities, interest? All of those things added up should get you to a budget number that you're comfortable with, and your lender, by the way, should be happy to work through that with you as well. Like I said, a good lender should give you that monthly budget target over the, well, here's what you can afford sales price of your home. After all, a $1,000 HOA fee versus $200 a month certainly makes a difference on your housing budget. Those are all discussions that you need to have and keep in mind regardless of what happens to interest rates, by the way. It's all a balancing act, and that is where having a trustworthy real estate agent can be helpful. They should be able to advise you when or when not to get into the market based on your needs, not their bottom line. If you want to know more specifics or you've got more questions about buying or selling this spring, please feel free to reach out to me, Andrew Coppins, with the Steve Janet Group at Dreamtown Realty, and I would be happy to customize a plan for your needs. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on the spring marketplace and where you see the market going here in Chicago. So go ahead and leave a comment below and let's get to chatting. Until next time, here's hoping you're going to find out what it's like to close with Coppins soon.